I don't know, guys. There's nothing left to do but laugh at this point, sadly. Because we've done everything else. We have yelled, we have bitched, ranted, complained, been saddened for these individuals, depressed for these individuals. We have been befuddled over the decisions made by the old man up north in Stamford, Connecticut. We shouldn't be shocked anymore. But yet when we hear the names that Vince McMahon has let fall to the wayside, we can't help but be shocked, alarmed, concerned, and yes, befuddled. The latest name I'm talking about is Andrade, because this morning we are mourning the loss of Andrade's WWE main roster career. It's over. We're hearing reports that Andrade has asked for his WWE release, that he showed up Monday before Raw, and he wasn't looking happy. He looked miserable, is what we're hearing. He stormed into McMahon's office and asked for his release. And I can't say that I'm shocked. I mean, we saw this coming a mile away. The signs were there because the facts have been in order long before Andrade stormed into McMahon's office. And how do we know those facts? Because we've already seen this play out in real time. Time after time after time. We've seen it play out on the public spectrum. Wrestlers so upset with Vince McMahon, they took it public. Posting on social media and anybody that would listen to them, how unhappy they were in that prison of WWE. We saw it with Zack Ryder. How can this dude be unhappy? Several times when he thought he was getting the push, Vince McMahon yanked that rug right out from underneath him. Zack Ryder took his frustrations public. FTR, considered by many one of the best tag teams in recent memory. How can you destroy one of the best tag teams and all the shit they did in NXT? And I wasn't even necessarily one of the biggest fans of FTR. But I gotta give them props. When it comes to the tag team division, there weren't many that were taking them out. They were so frustrated, they took that shit public. Brody Lee / Luke Harper. We all remember his lengthy posts on how Vince McMahon is holding him captive. Should let this dude go. He wanted his release. Vince wouldn't grant it. Miro / Rusev took his release public. He's asking. Vince isn't giving it. I'm just giving you some of the names that are popping off at the top of my dome piece. Andrade is the latest one. And trust me, he's just the latest one that we're hearing about. There's a long list of talented individuals that McMahon is holding captive. For some reason, either doesn't see something in them or just doesn't want to give them the time of day. A personal vendetta, who knows? Maybe because he was attached to Zelina, he's getting punished even more, but I don't understand how you can screw up Zelina and Andrade. That combo worked in NXT for a reason. It was perfectly sitting in your lap. You didn't have to do much. Zelina, the perfect mouthpiece and the perfect progression to any storyline, and Andrade was the muscle to back up that storyline. He was the dude to conclude any storyline that he and Zelina were in. Same thing with Rusev and Lana. How do you screw that up? Lana is the perfect mouthpiece for Rusev. Lana, the perfect manager. Rusev, the perfect dude to get the job done in the ring. How do you screw up Lana and Rusev? How do you screw up Andrade and Zelina? And we all know the answer. We all know the answer on how all of these individuals get screwed up in a short amount of time. We all know the answer. Now we're hearing, unshockingly, that Vince McMahon has denied Andrade that release. Again, not shocked. Vince McMahon does not want Andrade just popping up in some random company, like AEW out of nowhere. That's not good for business. So this only pans out one of two ways, unfortunately. Andrade is either going to have to sit home and wait out his WWE prison sentence, because that's what this is for Andrade. That's exactly how it was described by people like Brody Lee. Vince is going to have Andrade sit home and do nothing, not able to compete anywhere until that prison sentence is over. Or Vince is going to bring Andrade back and embarrass him in that ring every night he performs until his prison sentence is over. Either which way is not good for Andrade. And it's unfortunate. I would love to tell you that Andrade went into Vince's office Monday, let out his frustrations, and Vince said, you know what, you're right. I've been fucking up. You're talented. I'm going to correct this. And from here on out, Andrade is going to be happy. I would love to tell you that. But facts, history, tells us differently. We've already seen this play out time and time again with all of the names I aforementioned and so many others. We know how this plays out. Vince McMahon, his new motto, if you can't amaze them with your brilliance, dazzle them with your stupidity. Vince McMahon is not a complete idiot, trust me, because there's still pieces missing with this dude. But, you know, we laugh because what more can we do? How do you let how does Vince McMahon allow Andrade? You know, and anybody that says, oh, let's not act like Andrade was this big deal. Let's not all jump on the Andrade bandwagon now because he's in the news and he asked for his release. If you watch channels like this, we're always asking, what's the deal with Andrade's booking? Actually, if you watch channels like BC Amplified, we're always asking about everybody's booking. It's so fucked up. But Andrade was one of those cats we thought Vince could not fuck up when he showed up with Zelina Vega. It was just sitting in your lap perfect, but we should have known he fucked up a duo like Lana and Rusev. I mean, that's pretty hard to fuck that up. But then Zelina and Andrade get screwed up, and there's nothing this old man in Stanford, there's nothing he will not screw up. There's nothing he will not wreck. Even if you think there's no way, he will find a way somehow. So for anybody thinking, oh, it's only Andrade, relax, or oh, he couldn't speak great English, so what did you expect to happen? Again, and I'm one of those advocates that you can't necessarily take everything that is being done in NXT and transfer it to WWE. It doesn't necessarily work. There is a bigger audience for WWE. There's more casuals you do have to attend to. I get it. TV deals are different with WWE, and the market is just different, right? Everyone likes to think, oh, they should be doing exactly what NXT is doing in WWE. And I wish it was that easy, but it's not. I understand the business behind it. But something like Zelina Vega and Andrade, that is something that you can easily transfer from NXT to WWE, and something that should have been transferred so fluently. And it was pretty much DOA on arrival, man. Only WWE, only Vince can screw up a talented dude like Andrade, a talented tandem and duo like Zelina and Andrade in just 2 years. Because this dude debuted in 2018 and he was last seen 2020. 2 years is all it took for Vince McMahon. I mean, he's working his magic even quicker with dudes like Keith Lee. And I'm surprised Matt Riddle took a turn at the last second. I thought he was following suit. But it looks like Vince is giving him a bit of a push. But there's talented dudes that are waiting in line to voice their frustration well after Andrade is gone. Trust me. And it's sad, man. But anyway, that's the cold open, guys. Andrade asked for his release. That's what we're hearing. And I'm pretty sure because Vince denied it. Again, that's what we're hearing. He asked for his release. Vince denied it. And if that's the case, you're probably going to have WWE do a little bit of public relations control here. Have Andrade somehow say, oh, I never asked for my release, right? We're going to hear that this is all bogus, and which I believe is bullshit, because I truly believe he is that frustrated. I truly believe he asked for his release, and I truly believe Vince is going to be an asshole and not give it to him. So, I don't know, man. Some people say it's smart business. I wouldn't let him go either. He's going to sit home and he's going to take his punishment. Other people would say, I wouldn't want somebody frustrated under my wing, man. If I run a company, I don't want my employee or independent contractor to be miserable on my accord. If they're truly an independent contractor, let them be such. We understand they signed a contract, but they think you made their life fucking miserable and they want out. It's that simple, bro. They don't want to work for you anymore. I would never want somebody like that under my wing, man. And then afterwards, they can tell that story. Eventually that prison sentence will be up. And they're going to tell the story about how you were a prick to them. I don't know, man. How you treat people is everything. Everything. That's the cold open. We wish Andrade nothing but the best. We're going to find out more, but again, because Vince, we're hearing, denied his release, we could see damage control, and we're going to start to hear that Andrade is fine, he's happy. His minor injury that put him out of competition, it's just lingering. No. It's not just Andrade. We always hear the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. Too many names have came before Andrade, taking the same route, the same fast lane into misery. And it always ends the same. Andrade, it's unfortunate to say because the dude is so talented. He's just the latest name in a long list of people that are just miserable in that company. Some were able to get out of that prison. Some broke free. Some were able to endure their whole sentence, were released from that prison. And others, unfortunately, are still serving time in the penitentiary of WWE. Guys, we got Smackdown to go over. This is March the 12th, 2021. I haven't even cracked this yet. It is my first coffee of the day, actually. It's pretty fucking early. So I had this nice and cold overnight. This is new. I've never had this before. This is a Starbucks cold and crafted, it's called. Cold and crafted. Wow, that's perfect for me, man. It says a splash of milk and vanilla. All right. And for those of you that say, hey, BC, drink it black, man. You do realize I drink like 10 coffees a day. 7 to 10 on the average. A couple of those are absolutely black. Don't worry. I also do some lattes. I do some frappuccinos even. Maybe a cappuccino. Maybe straight up espresso. I do them all, man. I do 7 to 10 coffees. Relax. I like these badasses sometimes, man. They're fucking delicious. And it gets the job done. Let's try this together. By the way, they're not paying me. I know everybody thinks Starbucks is my sponsor. They're not, man. I just like a lot of coffee. Starbucks cold and drafted. I'm going to try this with you guys right now, and then we're going to get started with Smackdown, man. Sasha Banks calling herself the Michael Jordan of the women's division. I love it. Didn't Britt Baker say something like that over in AEW several months ago? I think she did, because I remember every time the king, the legend, the man, Michael Jordan is brought up. I always remember that. Let's try this. Oh, you hear that pop? Brand new, baby. Ooh, that's nice and strong, man, but oh, that's got such a subtle intake. Let's try this shit. Ooh, that lingers beautifully. Oh, that lingers beautifully. That's the shit, man. If you ever see this, I don't even know if it's everywhere. Cold and crafted, brah. It's strong when you get that initial smell, but it's also, man, it's smooth. It lingers on your tongue on that. Oh, I like that. All right. We can do this. You want to have much more of that through this review, man. I'll try to get this done as quick as possible. I know you guys got a lot to do this weekend, as do I, man. It's starting to get warmer in the world. So, we all got things to do. Smackdown's on a Friday night, as if that isn't bad enough. People want to do shit on a Friday night. And then Saturday, you got to wait for BC to review. So I try to get this out as early as I can for you guys, man. That's why I'm filming early, So I got shit to do too, All right, we start the show with a really good face-to-face promo, middle of the ring, between Edge and Daniel Bryan. I like this, man. I never for 1 second doubted that Edge and Daniel Bryan couldn't have a good feud. Storyline and promos would be awesome. Same thing I say with Edge and Roman Reigns. I know Edge and Roman Reigns sells itself. Edge versus Roman, one-on-one, the storyline, the promos, it'll be phenomenal. We saw it weeks ago when it started. And now because of Fastlane, they had to find a new opponent for Roman before Edge. So they plucked Daniel Bryan. You guys know I love Daniel Bryan. Most of you probably do. But I've said it a million times. I'm like a broken record. D-Bry has been in mediocrity, at least booking-wise, in 2020. And in 2021, he's all over the place. He even had a mini losing streak. Cesaro beat him several times. And now all of a sudden, he's going for a second opportunity against Roman Reigns. He already lost against the dude, but he gets another opportunity. So booking-wise, even though we love Daniel Bryan, it just doesn't make sense. I agree with what Edge told Bryan. Middle of the ring, Edge said, I just don't like the way you went about this. Edge said straight out, I don't think you... All you did, Daniel Bryan, you don't deserve to be in the title picture right now. Edge is actually correct. And anybody that says differently, you're living in 7 years ago. You're living in WrestleMania 30 time when the Yes Movement was something special. It's not anymore. We still love Daniel Bryan, still one of the best wrestlers, but booking-wise, what the fuck is this dude in the title picture for? And if you want to dog out Edge, at least they did make it real. The dude won the Rumble. He did. At least they put that type of thought into it. But they booked Daniel Bryan like a yo-yo, stringing him up and down for so long, and all of a sudden they need somebody before Edge, and they throw out Daniel Bryan. I love how Edge went about this promo. Everything that Edge said was actually accurate. And he even said, everybody's saying I don't wrestle as much as Daniel Bryan. Did you forget my whole career? I came back, not because I just walked away on my own accord because I just didn't want to do this anymore. I still love this. I came back and proved it, just like D-Bry did a couple years ago from his injury that everybody thought he wasn't going to come back from, but he willed his way back to the spotlight. Well, Edge is doing the same fucking thing, but everybody's dogging him out. So Edge tried to remind everybody, too. Everybody was saying, oh, I just don't wrestle as much as Daniel Bryan, so he deserves it and I don't. Fuck that. I like this. My complaint with it is, are we getting Edge versus Roman one-on-one? Or are we setting up a triple threat? Because this is looking more like it's a triple threat with Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania. I don't need to see that, bro. I just don't. I hate schmaz matches. Give me Edge versus Roman, even if BC didn't get his way at the Rumble. There were some people that for some reason wanted to see Daniel Bryan win the Rumble and Daniel Bryan versus Roman. So even if they got their way, I would not have been a sore loser. I would have sat back and said, okay, so give me a good storyline. D-Bry and Roman hopefully will do that. I would say that. At first, I wouldn't be a fan of it, but I would sit back and let them do their work and let them captivate me. But I would have thought still it should have been Edge or like Seth Rollins. I think that would have been a better storyline progression. But I'm not saying D-Bry and Roman can't do that. Can't get me on board. My point is, if you're going to do Daniel Bryan and Roman, then you kickstart it at the Rumble and you do it at Mania. If you're going to go Edge wins at Rumble and go Edge Roman at Mania, then do that. What is this triple threat nonsense just weeks before Mania? This shows you that Vince McMahon is not only not set on the whole Mania card, he's not even set on the matches that he has. Don't be shocked, guys. I know this is out there. Don't be shocked if Daniel Bryan is added to the WrestleMania match. I'm not a fan of that. It's not needed. But Fastlane has thrown a horrible curveball in all of WrestleMania plans. It just has, man. Right after the Rumble, we should have started talking about WrestleMania and all of the thoughts and ideas, or lack thereof, from WWE should be put into WrestleMania. But no, it switched to Elimination Chamber. And then when Elimination Chamber was done and finished, then their focus was put on Fastlane. And still is to this very day. And will be for the next week. And then, and only then, with 2 weeks before WrestleMania, will Vince's focus switch over to Mania. And there'll only be 2 weeks left. All of these pay-per-views before WrestleMania, between Rumble and before WrestleMania, all of these pay-per-views have not only hindered, they have ruined, they have damaged, they have destroyed WrestleMania season, and any of our anticipation of it and for it. It's truth. You know you're not feeling like it's WrestleMania season. And it's because you're even seeing the main event switched and toddled around. I don't care how much anybody loves Daniel Bryan. You can't say this is a good idea. Just for somebody to be the middleman, most likely. Daniel Bryan will probably be the one getting fucking pinned here. I can't see Daniel Bryan going into Mania. And Edge in his comeback story, and Roman and the fire that he is fucking with this new heel character, and they both go down at the Yin Yang booked Daniel Bryan, as if this is 7 years ago. I don't see that happening. I see the dude being entered in to be a fall guy, if this is indeed the case. Anyway, I know that's a long-winded review of the opening segment. I got all of this just from a promo between Edge and Daniel Bryan, but I like the promo. I just don't like where this is headed. So that was a long-winded way to get there. Now, you know, BC, when I start talking pro wrestling, we're going to talk about it. Damn, got to keep these in mind, man. Again, I got this. This one is a splash of vanilla. They got mocha and other flavors too, probably, man. Pretty fucking good. Starbucks should be paying me, now that I think about it. So that's the opening segment, and we would see more of Edge and Daniel Bryan in the end segment as well. The main event slot was reserved for the contract signing between Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns for their Fastlane championship match. We then go into an 8-person schmaz match. I was just talking to you guys about how I don't like schmaz matches. This one is Dominic and Rey Mysterio hooking up with the Street Profits to take on Ziggler, Rude, Otis, and Gable. You guys know my rule on schmaz matches. They are pointless. They are clusterfucks. They're a circus. They're spot fests. That's all they are, spot fests. Everybody is a ping pong ball in that ring. Thus, I do not spend time reviewing them. That's my rule. I just don't review schmaz matches in detail. There's nothing to review. Everybody's a ping pong ball. Everybody's setting up the next spot. Thus, I just don't spend time reviewing them. Anyway, Ford pins Rude, if you do want to know the conclusion of that match. Montez Ford pins Robert Roode. None of us will remember this by dinner tonight. In fact, if it wasn't for BC Amplify bringing it up right now in this review, you most likely already forgot about it. That's the truth. These 8-person schmaz matches do nothing, and that's my big concern in AEW. Everybody's all excited about this new MJF faction. Some people are even calling it a 4 horsemen, even though there's 6 of these motherfuckers. And on top of that, why would anybody draw that conclusion? That's so foolish. Everybody is looking for the next Stone Cold Steve Austin. Everybody's looking for the next WCW. Everybody's looking for the next Four Horsemen. Why? MJF reminds me of Ric Flair. What? You could say that about 100 guys then. There's only one Nature Boy, Ric Flair. I love MJF's work in AEW. Love it. But it's not Ric Flair the Nature Boy. Stop. We just want the next Ric Flair. That's all this is. People see Tully Blanchard in this new faction, and people are already like, 4 horsemen. They don't even care that there's 6 people. 5 wrestlers and a manager. And who knows if people are going to be added. 4 horsemen. It's the next one. What? I heard that with Evolution too, and at least that made a little more sense. Ric Flair was in that son of a bitch. If it doesn't have Arn Anderson or Ric Flair, you can't even begin the conversation. Tully Blanchard, really? Barry Windham gonna come? Anybody remember Barry Windham? Is he gonna come back and form the 4 Horsemen now? You can't do that shit, man. You can't. Every time there's a faction, we can't just... Wardlow, Shawn Spears, these are dudes that remind people of the 4 Horsemen? Stop it. You could say that about anybody then. Maybe if there was 4 dudes, you could start the conversation. 4 Horsemen a couple of times actually played around with 5 people. So, there was a few times that, I remember Demolition was a trio too with Crush. Although they never claimed to be a 2-man Demolition. So I don't know why I brought that up. But my point is, we've seen like numbers. It's a 4 Horsemen. It's got to be 4 fucking horsemen. I don't know where that even came from. My point is, there's too many factions in AEW. Too many. You know, we talked about this in the live stream the other day, which, by the way, thank you guys, man. That was a fun live stream. We did that in the middle of a Thursday afternoon. Impromptu. Nobody knew a thing. I just went live. Hundreds joined live. Thousands joined afterwards. When I put it up on the channel. That was a lot of fun, man. A lot of good interaction. So thank you guys for tuned in live, and everybody that tuned in afterwards just to show support. But we talked about it there too, all the factions, and we forgot to even list Taz's bunch. So I mean, you have Dark Order, you have Taz's bunch, you have the Hardy bunch. Hardy just Matt Hardy put together Blade and Butcher and Private Party. So and that was a half an hour before MJF just came up with his bunch. So you're supposed to have this big reveal of a new faction, and a half an hour before, you have a faction being formed elsewhere. That's bad. That's a botch on Tony Khan. You can't have the same storyline a half an hour before a big reveal storyline. That's the same thing, creating a faction. Mind-boggling to me that was allowed to happen, and nobody called Tony out on it. But anyway, you got the Dark Order, you got Taz's bunch, you got Hardy's bunch, you got the Inner Circle, you got MJF's bunch. Factions more or less are 4 people, but you do have Death Triangle. They could easily just get 1 more person and they could take on another 4 people, or put a tag team with Death Triangle and you're going to get more schmoz matches, so you can add Death Triangle in there with Jurassic Express. My point is, there's so many multi-person factions. So many people tied at the hip with one another in AEW. Half the roster, I'm telling you, I already did the research. Half the roster, at least, I think it's more actually, because it's over 30 individuals I counted. Over 30. Over half the roster is tied with somebody, and most of them tied with multiple people. That's not good. That's too many factions, man. Too many people tied at the hip and not standing on their own 2 feet. Anyway, what brought me onto that spiel, guys? Oh yeah, because we started off the opening match with an 8-person schmaz. So that's what I mean about I just can't care. Because you, if you're being honest with yourself, you are not going to remember 8-man tag matches. You're not going to. If I told you right now, give me your top 5 8-man tag matches. Top of your head, what are your top 5 8-man tag matches? You ain't giving them to me. You're not. Or you'd have to really think about it. You'd have to start Googling a little bit to even remember some 8-man schmazes. Oh, BC's right when he puts it like that. I know I am. You could probably easily name 5, 10, top 15, top 20, top 25, top 30 one-on-ones, tag team matches. But you're not going to remember schmaz matches. They're not designed to be remembered. Spot fests, they're just there to use up a bunch of people. They don't progress storylines. They don't. People like to say, oh, there's a lot of progression in storylines when you have these schmaz matches. No, there's not, because you can't remember it all. There's 8 dudes in there. You're not going to remember all these little things. There's too much going on. It's a circus. It's a sideshow. Case in point, what storyline got progressed in this whole fiasco, guys? I got the answer for you. Nothing. Ford pinned Rude. Now, you don't even know anymore. I know I don't. Who the fuck the tag team champions even are anymore. I really don't anymore. I think it's Rude and Ziggler, correct? Well, isn't your tag team champion getting pinned then? Not only is it not progressing a storyline, it's doing the adverse effect. You have your champions getting pinned. This is more nonsensical than we even thought originally. I didn't even think about that, man. In my original notes, I didn't even think about the champion getting pinned. I don't think Street Profits got it back yet. Eventually they will, just like the New Day got it back 100 times because there is no tag division. So the New Day has to keep getting the tag belts because who's left? Same thing with the Street Profits. They'll get them 100 times. They'll be 100-time tag team champions because it'll keep going back to them because there is nobody else. And I don't see Vince really giving them to the Lucha Summer College House Party. So your champion gets pinned here. I believe Rude and Ziggler are your champions. So this match just not only... I'm moving on. I said we're not going to fucking review it. I review it longer than probably anything else. It's just frustration at this point. Every company just thinks that if you throw a bunch of individuals in the ring, we can eat up TV time. We don't have to get creative. We're using people. And what it's actually doing is nothing. And it's not only just doing nothing anymore, it's actually hurting individuals. Moving on. Cesaro defeats Murphy via DQ in a rematch. Seth Rollins interferes and does a number on Cesaro. I get they're setting up a Rollins-Cesaro match for either Fastlane, the Breakdown Lane, WrestleMania, Chaos at Costco. Whatever event they want to put this match on. Maybe all of them. But is it too much to ask for Murphy in Cesaro to just get 15 minutes of match time? Shit, beggars can't be choosers. We'll take 10 minutes of Murphy in Cesaro. Is that too much to ask? If McMahon isn't careful, Murphy is going to follow Andrade right out the door. That's the truth. And with that, hour number 1 concludes. We're about to go into hour number 2. Let me get another... I like this cold craft. I like this shit. I'm gonna start giving this more of a chance, man. I like this. We'll get to hour number 2 in a second. So hour number 2 kicks off with the KO show. Special guests Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks, 2 of my favorites in all of pro wrestling, man. Right from the jump, Sasha throwing bombs, telling Belair, and I quote, "I'm the Michael Jordan of the women's division, and you're the LeBron James." I love this, man. I remember Britt Baker said something like this, or alluded that she's the Michael Jordan of AEW. And I loved it when Britt Baker did it over in AEW. I love it with Sasha here, man. You guys know, if you follow this channel for a while, man, Michael Jordan is just the GOAT to BC. Anybody who was around during that time frame growing up, you know that he's irreplaceable. You know that he can never be second best. Now, to the younger crowd out there watching BC, LeBron is probably your guy, right? Nobody can beat LeBron, blah, blah, blah. He's the best for many reasons. You probably have your own facts, your own statistics. Bro, I don't get into engagement with that anymore. It's preference. LeBron is a beast. I don't necessarily care for LeBron, to be honest, but he's a beast. One of the best I've ever seen play this game. not just for a big dude attacking that zone and attacking that rim, but this dude can sit on the three-point line and drop them. That's a scary threat when you're that size and you can chill out at the three-point line. You ain't even gotta drive. You just gotta pop them. That's scary, man. That's for the point guard. That's for your shooting guard to sit on that line and start dropping. But when LeBron can do it, so listen, I give the dude his respect and his props. But unless you've seen Michael Jordan play during the era that he played in, to the level to which he played at every night, nobody is in Michael Jordan's league to people like BC. So while I respect why you think LeBron is number one, I hope that you will respect BC in why I feel Michael Jordan will forever be my legend, my icon, the dude that is irreplaceable. Michael Jordan is the guy that you strived to be when you were growing up. Whatever sport you played. You just had, it was the old-fashioned, what would Michael Jordan do, right? WWMJD. What would Michael Jordan do? He was the best, man. He is, and forever will be the GOAT, man. So I always love those analogies, man. I loved it when Britt Baker mentioned it in AEW. And Sasha, and when it's somebody that it's legit, right? It's better, right? Like, you can't just have, like, not shade, because earlier in this video I said she's one of the best managers that I've seen come along in a long time, Lana. When she was with Rusev, I can fucking speak. When she was with Rusev, one of the best managers, and should have been still to this day. But as a wrestler, come on, bro. You're not going to see Lana saying, I'm the Michael Jordan of the women's division. Sasha Banks saying, I'm the Michael Jordan of the women's division, even if you don't like Sasha, even if you disagree, you damn well better bet she's in that conversation. So that's what makes it even better. I mean, she said it. And you go, whoa, bold statement. But then you're thinking, well, is she wrong? Is she wrong? Well, Bianca's saying you're wrong. And Bianca's badass. Bianca's strong. Bianca's got it all going for her right now. So that's what made it. And her saying that, don't worry, Bianca, you're still the LeBron. Meaning you're second best. Bro, I just love that. I absolutely loved it. I would not have loved it as much if Sasha said, I'm the LeBron, and Bianca, you're Michael. I would not have liked it as much. I would have been like, hey, man, but Sasha Banks saying, I'm the Michael Jordan of the women's division, and Bianca, don't worry, you're the LeBron James. Damn! You done did get dropped. You done did get dropped, Bianca. And I love Belair. But she had to take the L on that one. That was huge. I loved it. They continue shading one another until Tamina and Natty hit the ring for a tag team match, as if anybody needs to see Natty and Tamina in a tag team match. But that's what we got. Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler were on commentary. Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler were also in a weird segment earlier on in hour number 1 where they took Reginald shopping. But it was all of Reginald's clothes already, so it's almost like he just transferred his wardrobe to this location and is trying on his own clothes. I don't fucking know. But it was weird, man. And then Reginald sat in Nia Jax's lap like Nia Jax is Santa Claus. And Reginald is like a 9-year-old girl telling Santa what she wants for Christmas. It was weird. I don't know what they're doing with Reginald. It's almost like Nia's the man in the segment and Reginald is the girl that they took shopping. If you saw it, you know what I'm talking about. If you didn't see it, this sounds weird as fuck. Trust me, it was weird as fuck. So Nia and Shayna are on the commentary table. She enters most girls. And Nia is going to have a one-on-one match with Sasha next week. I think that's for the title too, no? Maybe not. Either way, I don't think it is actually. I take that back. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Maybe it is. It probably will end up being for the title if it's not already. But Nia, she enters most girls. takes on Sasha next week. We just hope that Sasha doesn't get injured at the hands of Nia next week, man. Everybody, a little prayer for Sasha next week. So anyway, Bianca, Sasha taking on Tamina and Natty. Get this, and I'm not making this up. This really happened last night, guys. Tamina Snuka pinned Bianca Belair just weeks before WrestleMania, weeks before Bianca is about to take on Sasha for the title. They have Bianca getting pinned, and not just pinned. Guess how Tamina Snuka beat Bianca? Guess how Tamina pinned Bianca Belair? I'll give you one guess. I'll give you 3 seconds and one guess. Time's up. You probably guessed it, judging by how I'm reacting. That's right. The awe-inspiring, ultra-devastating fruit roll-up. The fruit roll-up. Don't even try to feed BC any BS about a distraction from Reggie either. Please, don't. Save that. Keep it to yourself. Bianca's character is centered around her strength, and you have her lose via a roll-up. The fuck out of here, bro. It wasn't a distraction. He got on the apron for a second. Bianca Belair, you could easily say, if not one of, possibly the strongest female in that division. She got rolled up. She couldn't just get her shoulder a centimeter off the mat. It's not realistic. And in a company that does the fruit roll-up finish too many times, I'm not buying it. If the roll-up occurred once in a blue moon, then it would be more meaningful. I would buy it. I maybe would even believe it. Oh, she got caught out of nowhere, man. Out of nowhere. She wasn't expecting. There's no way. But because the roll-up happens at least once every show, I'm not buying it anymore. These dudes they have muscles. These women these days have muscle. Bianca definitely. She can kick out of a roll-up. I'm not buying it, man. Weeks before she's about to go in a title match, big title match with Sasha, and you have her lose against Tamina. What does this do? And somebody that's going to cradle WWE's feelings in the palms of their hands, man. We don't want to hurt WWE's feelings. BC, it added more tension to Bianca and Sasha afterwards because Reggie got up and Sasha's kind of keeping Reggie around. Bianca doesn't want him around. Bianca lost a match, so she's pissed. This is because of you, Sasha. If that's honestly what you're saying, then you are resting on much lower standards than you're giving yourself credit for. Your standards should be much higher. If you're giving me Bianca and Sasha at Mania, and you give me 2 full months, which is what they did to build a story, I'm giving you epic shit. I'm not putting them in a tag team. That's worn out. That's been done for decades. And it's not needed for 2 talented individuals like Sasha and Bianca. I don't need to put them in a tag team. And I don't need Bianca losing weeks before to Tamina. I don't need Reggie to be the middleman to make this story work. I don't need Reggie in the story. And I like Reginald. For some reason. I don't know why. The guy's being booked so weird. But I like the dude. There's a place for him. But Bianca losing weeks before Mania to Tamina in Bianca in a tag team with it's just not needed, man. Just like I wouldn't need to see Michael Jordan and LeBron James on a team. No, that's a super team. I hate super teams. I feel that's a coward's way to a championship. And that's where I lost some respect for LeBron, man. And you say, for what he did down in Miami when he formed that super team. And you say, BC, man, you can't hate, man. He got his rings. Yeah, but he formed a super team. You look at what Jordan did when he had Steve Kerr, Dennis Rodman, Scottie Pippen. It wasn't a super team. They all were great right hand and left hand men for Jordan. But Jordan had to carry those motherfuckers to those rings. Everybody did their part, but Jordan was that centerpiece. There were many times where he had to put that team on his back. LeBron's super team years ago, LeBron could take nights off and his boys were gonna do damage. You didn't see Jordan teaming up with Reggie Miller and Patrick Ewing. Could you imagine? Jordan would have 10 rings. If you talk to people before the season, you find out their contracts, your boys, you're friends with them, and you say, hey, let's form a fucking super team, man. Well, who's going to beat you? Of course, so you say, hey, BC, you can't, hey, and I don't, man. Hey, they went and got their rings. You're right. You know what I mean? That's all history will show. But if you were around for all these eras, for all these decades, like BC has been, you see some shady shit, bro. You saw people fucking break their backs to get there, and you saw some people form some easy peasy teams and collect championships. I don't need to see Bianca and Sasha in a team. I need to see them one-on-one in the finals. Jordan versus LeBron, give me that. Jordan versus Kobe Bryant, give me that. Give me Sasha. Give me Bianca. Build that up until that Game 7 in the finals. I don't need to see them in a team and then come Game 7 have them face each other. Hopefully you guys get my analogy here. That's my Jordan LeBron analogy. Next up, Big E hits the ring and cuts a promo on Apollo. This was one of Big E's best promos he's ever cut. Serious, direct, furious. Delivery was spot on. I mean, this Big E, man, this is the Big E we've all been waiting for and we were hoping for when he went off on his own and we started to see still the pancakes and we started to still see him dancing. And at first the same music and we were like, uh-oh, it's just still New Day Big E, just kind of on his own. No, then the music changed and then you see the more serious side and this is the Big E, man. If you're going to be on your own, you could always do the New Day stuff. In fact, we're going to see the New Day back together so many times in the future. In fact, they're probably going to get another run or two lengthy together in a 3-man group, which I don't like, but you're going to get it in the future. Take this time to broaden your horizons, man. Expand. See what more you can do, because we know what Big E can do. Big E now has to trust it. Creative has to trust it in him. Let him try new things. Get more serious. Expand, broaden out. You'll be amazed at how much Big E has to offer. I love this promo that he gave, man. He was so serious to Apollo, man. He's like, you come for one eye, I come for two. You step on my lawn, I destroy your house. He was like, he's like, I gotta get biblical on you now. I gotta get fucking... I just love this, man. I really do. I wouldn't even do it justice if I tried to re-verbatim his whole promo. I wouldn't do it justice. The delivery and the way Big E delivered it, just flawless, man. And I might as well have you guys listen for yourself, actually. I mean, that's how good it is. Yeah, you guys should actually hear it, because again, I wouldn't do it justice if I was going to word for word it. So you guys listen, man. This is Big E, and this is his promo. I fucking loved it.
You, Apollo, you made me go biblical. I gotta go Old Testament on you because now it's eye for an eye. Now it's you take one of mine and I take two of yours. Now it's you come here to hurt me and I come here to maim you. Now it's you step on my lawn and I bulldoze your house. Beating you that's not enough. No, I gotta end you. I got to end you. You want what I work for.
That's just a little bit, guys. That's a little bit. Hold on, Big E. Hold on. I'm not giving you guys the whole thing. That's a little bit, though, of Big E, man. Really, yeah, it just the visual of it too was just, he was so intense. It was really good to see. So anyway, awesome job by Big E in that promo. He then issues an open challenge for his IC strap. Corbin is about to accept, but Sami Zayn beats him to it. I actually like this man, and usually what Baron is in is it's just not good. Half the time, not even his own fault. Just creatively, they just booked this guy so stupid. And Sami Zayn has been kind of a comedy act the last several months, so I wouldn't think that I would be saying I like this, but I do, man. Corbin comes out and he's talking about his $10,000 designer suit that he's willing to take off for this match. His fucking $5,000 watch or whatever, can be $25,000, whoever knows, man. But he's talking about he'll take it all off for that match, so he's about to accept, and Sammy comes running out. He's like, I accept. And Corbin's like, no, what are you doing? I was about to accept. And he goes, no, I have it on footage in my documentary, because he had his film crew. He's like, it's all on tape. You were about to, but I said I did, so I get it. I liked it, man. It was actually, it actually made BC kind of laugh. So, hey, if you can get a laugh out of BC, I'll take it. So I didn't mind that. And it was a decent match between Zayn and Big E for the time that they were given, which wasn't a lot, but they did some good stuff with it. A big ending delivered to Zayn allows Big E to collect the W. And post-match, as we thought would happen, Apollo comes in and attacks Big E, furthering their storyline and pending match. So, all in all, I thought this was decent. I mean, you got Baron Corbin some time with his new gimmick where he's getting all these fancy fucking clothes, his expensive watches. You get Sami Zayn in there to continue his shtick, and you further Apollo and Big E. I have no real complaints here. In fact, that promo by Big E, man, I couldn't have been more proud of Big E. So very good there. Our main event slot was again reserved for the Fastlane main event Universal Championship match. Contract signing. This is for Fastlane. Bryan versus Roman Reigns at Fastlane. So this contract signing, Bryan and Roman seated at a table, middle of the ring. Roman refuses to sign at first, but Daniel Bryan starts to mock Reigns, even declaring himself the self-proclaimed head of the table. This pisses Roman off, and he ends up signing the contract. Bryan says he's gonna tap Roman out like he did to Jey Uso. So Uso gets pissed, throws out the contract signing table, gets in Bryan's face, and he says that this match between he and Roman at Fastlane, it needs a special enforcer. That kind of came out of nowhere. I love the intensity in Jey Uso, but who says this needs an enforcer, and who says that Daniel Bryan is going to say okay to this? Just have a title match. I don't understand. I mean, this was done kind of awkward. I mean, Jey Uso is pissed, and that's what he comes up with. It needs an enforcer. I guess you could say that no matter what happened, Roman instructed Jey Uso to do that. You could kind of make an argument for that, I guess. But Edge comes out, and Edge says, that's a good idea, Jay. This match does need a special enforcer. And how about next week, me versus you, Edge versus Jey Uso, and the winner is declared the special enforcer for Roman and Daniel Bryan at Fastlane. What do you say, Pierce? Because Adam Pierce was out there. And Pierce is like, I like that idea. So next week, Edge versus Jey Uso, winner is a special enforcer for Roman and Bryan at Fastlane. And I'm like, wait, all of this is happening so fast. Why does this match? I mean, I understand it will add to the match in some intrigue, even a little bit, just a little bit. I understand that, but it just came so sudden. Edge just seemed like he was rushed out there. Vince is like, we only have 2 minutes, go! So Edge had to come out and like come up with this weird match with Jey Uso to become a special enforcer. Like, why would Edge care so much to be a special enforcer? BC, because he's going to take on the winner. Okay, Edge doesn't need to be a fucking enforcer. Unless he's going to cost somebody the match on purpose, then he would have a reason to want to be. That makes sense? I don't know. Maybe I'm making way too much sense here. This seemed really odd to me. And then all chaos breaks out. Edge and Roman start going to battle. Daniel Bryan and Jey Uso start going to battle. D-Bry exits Jey Uso. D-Bry goes to attack Roman. Edge shoves Daniel Bryan aside. Daniel Bryan comes storming back with a running knee to the dome piece of Edge, drops Edge where he was standing. Roman is able to escape, and D-Bry is kind of looking at Edge like, that's right, motherfucker. If I get the title, this is what's going to happen at Mania. So it looks again like they're inserting Daniel Bryan into a triple threat match at Mania. I don't need that, man. Edge versus Roman could have been, should have been so epic. The promos, the storyline, and instead, we're just getting a Daniel Bryan insurrection. That's all this is. And there's only a few weeks to go until Mania. It's sad, man, because Edge and Roman had so much potential one-on-one. So much. To say I'm not happy about this would be an understatement. I hate schmaz matches. It's not needed, especially at WrestleMania for a championship. Just because you need D-Bry to be a fall guy, just because you need D-Bry to take the L, it's not needed, man. Roman could have lost that championship at WrestleMania and he would have been fine. He's a diabolical heel. He could easily come back from this, and even with a better character, because now his whole character is built on disrespect. Do not disrespect me. Well, if Edge takes his title, that's the ultimate disrespect. You're going to get an even better Roman until he gets that title back. It's going to be even more fun. And if Edge loses, what a fucking moment. What a feeling everyone's going to have. This guy had his culminating moment sitting in his lap. 9 years, comes back, busts his ass, wins the Rumble. This is his moment, and he fails. He fails, man. The look in Edge's face. And people are like, wow, he didn't have that magical ending to his story. Either way, it's beautiful. The story would be great. Roman can't lose. If Edge versus Roman, I don't like, because Roman can't lose the title. Says who? He's a diabolical heel fucking at the highest level right now. He'll be fine. The character will be even better. He'll feel ultra disrespected. He doesn't need a title right now. Roman is fucking on a whole nother level, man. In his road to get that title back as that diabolical heel, so much fun. And if Edge loses, that could have been fun. But this is, D-Bry inserted into this. Whatever, man. Whatever. It is what it is. And that's how we went off there. D-Bry dropping Edge. And next week we're going to get Jey Uso versus Edge. The winner of that will be the special enforcer for the championship match between Roman, D-Bry, Fastlane, which is next Sunday. Next Sunday. And I can't even give you the card. I know that the women's tag title match is going to be put on. Nia and Shayna versus Bianca and Sasha, as if anybody needs to see that fucking rematch. Nobody needs to see Bianca and Sasha in a tag team, period. Now we're going to get a rematch from a match we already fucking saw with these two teams. Why? What? And on top of that, you got Roman and D-Bry. What else do you have, guys? I don't even know. Is there another match announced for Fastlane? Half the card at least is not even announced yet, and it's next Sunday. WrestleMania has nothing. It has Edge versus Roman right now, and I think that's going to be changed to a triple threat, it looks like, unfortunately. Other than that, you have 2 nights of WrestleMania. We're expecting anywhere with kickoff pre-show matches to be 16 to 21 matches. 16 to 21. We're only a few weeks away. Nothing is planned. But BC, you're being too negative, man. You're overthinking it. Be more nicer to WWE, BC. Be more positive. How do you want me to... WrestleMania is in a few weeks, and they have no matches. That's... There's nothing to be positive about for that, man. We should be excited and intrigued, anticipating awesome matches for Mania. They got nothing planned. Their one match they got planned is up in the air right now. They don't even know if that's going to be finalized to the last minutes. Hard to be excited, right? Hard to feel like it's WrestleMania season. Anyway, told you guys I wouldn't keep you here that long. Better part of an hour, I think I did. Oops. Come talk wrestling with BC. Throw time out the window, man. You never know how long I'm going to keep you up in here. But much love and respect, guys. That's your SmackDown review. Have a good weekend. Kick ass. Pound those coffees. Whoop a lot of ass, man. Think, be, live, amplified. Always. In any situation. You know that. I was in a Costco. We talk about chaos at Costco, man. I was in a Costco the other day. I forgot what I don't know, man. Probably my Robert Irvine protein bars. Costco has them. Robert Irvine protein bars, man. They're the best, man. Check them out. Anyway, they don't pay me. I'm just plugging it. But I was getting something, and, they have these little circles. Now, I'm not a big nut with this whole mask thing, and I'm not a big live in fear type of person. I'm just not that kind of guy. I'm an like what you see on camera. I'm actually like, I'm an intense dude in real life, right? So I'm fucking, I don't really do all these things, or I don't take them too seriously for me. I don't get dragged down by it, but I play along because, I want to keep everyone else as safe as possible. So what I'm saying is whenever I see one of those lines that says stand here and let the other people go, I stand there. I'm not going to be the asshole that's not obeying the fucking rule. I'm not going to be that guy. So I'm going to play along so everyone feels safe and that everybody is safe, all right? Because there's just a lot of misinformation out there. I don't know. Just because I don't live in this fear bubble doesn't mean that I'm going to make other people uncomfortable. So I put the fucking mask on when I'm told to. I stand on the line. Not all the time with the mask, when I'm outside taking a walk, the thing is off. If you don't like it, walk away from me. But when I'm outside, that's my fresh air time. Don't fuck with me. You tell me to put a mask on, I'm going to shove a fucking mask down your fucking throat. Bottom line. If I'm outside, don't you ever fucking talk to me about a mask. But inside, I'm going to play along with all the rules. So I'm playing around with the rules, and I noticed that this couple behind me, oblivious, they're talking to one another, and they're on my fucking ass. So I do the little fucking, I'm kind of like staring back, and I know they're not on the line, but I'm trying to give like I'm trying to let them see that I'm looking back down at their feet so they'll get the hint, like, oops, because if you're talking, maybe you just overshot your line to stand on. No, we went to the next line as the line kept moving up toward the cashier, and they were still on my ass. So now it's my turn to get up to the conveyor belt there. So I'm putting my stuff up, it moves up, and I'm kind of taking my time at this point so they're not on my ass as I'm putting my products down. Because they still have to be at their line, 6 feet away. No! The second my stuff starts conveying upwards, they're right there putting their shit on there, talking and everything to one another, on my ass. I literally turned around, and I can't say this is an isolated situation. I'm always screaming in stores. I'm always flipping out, man. I don't like disrespect. If I am playing by the rules, somebody who doesn't live in the fear bubble, somebody who hates the whole mask thing, somebody who hates the whole distance thing, I hate it, but I play along. So what makes you think that you're special? If we all have to do this shit, then you're not gonna be Mr. fucking Special and Mrs. Dumbass. No, you gotta play by the fucking rules too. So I turned around and I absolutely flipped out. The entire Costco, I'm saying, and Costco's are big. From the back fucking wall, you could have heard a pin drop. I was flipping out on this couple. Flipped out. Everybody was just... nobody was saying a word. They were keeping the managers were like, fuck. BC just flipped out for 3 minutes. Yeah, that was intense. And again, I do this often. I don't let that type of disrespect go. I pretty much let the person know right there that I'm not too pleased. But this was, I never flipped out like that in a Costco. I don't know if it's the the way it's set up, but I mean, I was like echoing, and it was like, man, it was a show. Everybody stopped what they were doing to watch BC flip out. It's pretty fucking intense. What brought up that story? Oh, yeah. No, that's just me telling you guys. Always stay amplified, man. Don't let people disrespect you in a way like that. And if you're playing by the rules and somebody's on your ass in one of these lines, dude, you ain't gotta even believe in the whole mask thing and the distance thing, that to a point where it's like making you live in fear. But you have to hold people accountable to play by the rules. You know, they can't just watch everybody else do it and they're just like, these idiots, and they're right up on your ass, you know? Because what if this shit is, I mean, you know, what if they did have something? They gave it to you and then you give it to somebody that you fucking love, man, you know, all because they didn't want to play by the rule. You know, it's pathetic. And again, I can't say this enough. I'm not even one of these people that, you know, is in this fear bubble, you know? I think there's a lot of misinformation out there. But, you know, if we're all playing by the rules just to get this over with, what are you doing? What are you doing on my ass? That's so disrespectful. Stay on your fucking line. Just stay on that shit. When you get out the store, be as free as you want. Take your fucking bra off. Take your fucking undies off. Streak to the gas station. Do whatever you need to do. Take your groceries and fucking rub them on your fucking body. Run around yelling, no mask, bitches. That's great. But in the store, we're just trying to all play by the rules so we can get the fuck out of the store. We don't own the store. Those are the rules. We're all abiding by them. I can speak. Just play by them so we can get out. Don't be on BC. You're going to come across someone like BC who's going to turn around and light you up. Salut, unit. I don't know what the fuck that last 5 minutes, 10 minutes was about. That's my Costco story for you. Chaos at Costco. Hey, BC's going to cause some more adventures and flip out maybe on some more people because there's a lot of dumbasses in the world that deserve it and need it. Until next time, BC, check you later.